One of the sweetest scenes I think Fringe has ever had was recently when Olivia and Nina kind of had their goodbye as their mother and daughter thing. Are we going to be touching upon any more of their relationship going forward?
Yeah, we do. I mean, this year for my character has been extremely interesting because, you know, Nina's never had anyone to love. Walter had Peter. Peter and Olivia had each other. Even Astrid had Walter.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Broyles had a family, and poor old Nina had no one, you know. Except Massive Dynamic and Mr. Bell, wherever the hell he was.
That tragic love.
That's right, that tragic love. So yeah, it was marvelous to explore this dear relationship between two women. Because, you know, so many stories, this is America, are father and son. It's guy stories. And so it was actually really nice to have a mother and daughter, in a way, from two unlikely people.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what was interesting about it.
Yeah. So do we get any moments where she kind of tries to remind her of that bond coming?
Yeah, there are other things because of things that happen. There's stress put on the relationship, not between them, but in what Olivia must do, what Nina must do, those kinds of things. You know, they never make love easy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be hard.
Yes. Well, speaking of difficult relationships, you and I have talked at length about the Walter and Nina relationship, how complex and complicated that is. Do we get some more insight into that?
You know, not so far, but that's why I'm hoping for a 5th season, because we really need a little time now. There are ways in which, in the finale, which I can't tell you, because I would be killed when I leave here, that we see a different side of Nina. We see Nina the scientist.
Yes.
And which is interesting because I've always felt that that's the case, that she and Walter and Bell were peers.
Right.
It was at a time when women were not very welcome in science. And so a lot of times those women had all that knowledge but nowhere to go. So, you know, Bell let her take over Massive Dynamic, but she knew the science of it, but she was still an administrator. So towards the end of the year, Nina gets a little bit more, to be more of a participant, knowing how this is all working and how to make things happen. So if we were to have 5th season, I would hope that, in fact, it might be interesting to see them, and it would be a way of looking at their relationship in the past as peers.
Yeah.
Because clearly there's a lot of affection there. There's a lot of history with Peter when he was young, Peter when he died. William, I mean, I'm sure there was rivalry. I'm sure there was probably intellectual, romantic, and sexual. Who knows? But there's a lot that has happened. But, you know, whenever John and I get to act together, we just have a good time and try and make it as complicated as we can, so that whatever the writers throw at us, it's like, yeah, we covered that. That's possible.
I know you briefly touched upon Nina and science in the finale. How hands-on does she actually get? Does she get to do experiments? Well, hands-on is probably the worst one ever.
Not with this hand.
Not with that hand.
No.
Does she get?
Actually, this is the better hand than this one, right? This is man-made, so it actually works really, really well.
So do you actually get to kind of do, Walter does weird experiments. Does she get to do anything sort of that nature?
She doesn't get to do experiments so much like, you know, who is the porcupine man or something like that. She doesn't do that. But they need Nina to kind of save the day a little in the finale. She kind of, you know, gets what's going on.
You're like, it's about time the show recognized who the true hero of the show was.
Exactly. I've been sitting here. No.
You're just like, it'll happen. They'll realize it one of these days.
Yeah. No, for me, it's been a really fun season, having the Mina character, who as we call the bad Mina, is Mina. That was really fun. Initially, I was initially kind of sad because I thought, well, I don't get to be different. You know, you look the same, you sound the same, and there was such a terrible temptation to kind of do something to give it away, and you felt that that's not the fun of it. The point is, it should be seamless. Right. So then, when I got to, you know, show that I've just been playing all along, it was really good. It was good to play.